Hello and welcome to Hockey Night here at the Pisa Plainville Indoor Sports Arena. We are just about to get started for a matchup between the Allies and the Drunkin Leprechauns here in D1 roller action. This is a rematch of the championship series that took place earlier this year, culminating in a victory for the Allies on St. Patrick's Day. Many of the same faces are on the roster for the Allies. However, there are a lot of changes for the Drunkin Leprechauns, including a young upstart named Phil Swatja, who has been lighting the lamps a lot here at the Pisa in the last few weeks. Now, this game is going to come down to goaltending and the serious nature of both teams' offense. Evan Hill is suited up, but he does not have A.J. Benning tonight. The Allies will be looking to put some points on the board, and of course, team leader, I should say, Michael Kelsey will be in action, and they expect a lot from him. Whereas on the other end, Phil Swatja, Chad Huck, and a lot of the usual suspects for the Drunkin Leprechauns. However, they're going to be without a few familiar faces. They'll be ready, and it should be a good matchup. So thank you for being with us. This is Shawn Perry with Memory to Video Productions. We are just about ready to get started, so I'm going to give a shout-out to Victor De Leon, our cinematographer, and give you my prediction for the evening. I think that it is going to be a close and hotly contested one, with a 2-1 final in favor of the Allies. Brittany Camasso in goal for the Drunkin Leprechauns, former Ally herself. Very good goaltender, has had a strong start to the season. I expect a big night. I expect an uncharacteristically low-scoring game. So we'll see if I'm right, and we're just a moment away, so hang on to your hats and let's get started. And we are just moments away from the opening face-off here at the Pisa in Plainville, Connecticut. Once again, this is Shawn Perry with Victor De Leon bringing you the action. We have our normal goaltender for the Allies, Julio Alves, who has been strong thus far this season in 4 games. He has just 15 goals against for goals against average of 3.75. Not bad for 90 shots on goal. And then, of course, we have Evan Hill suiting up, who was one of the lead scorers in the league for the winter session for D1 Roller, but has had a slower start thus far. He has only scored, I believe, twice this season and has 3 assists. But we are just about ready to get started, so here comes the opening faceoff, and it is controlled by the Leprechauns. With it now is Swatja. Phil Swatja is a young player in his first season, I believe, here at the Pisa. And he has 6 goals and 2 assists for a team leading 8 points. And Allies have to chase it all the way down now. Jim Benning with it. Jim Benning's son, AJ, not in action tonight, but he has been phenomenal for this club so far this season. Had a great game against our last opponent's top corner. He has 4 goals and an assist already this season. Phil Swatja now, as sees that deflected off. Rebound opportunity knocked aside by the stick of Alves. And now with it is Jim Benning. A pass left for him by Hill. He slings it towards Camasso, but good work by the Drunkin Leprechaun defense. Centering pass there. Does not go through from Nagy. And comes all the way back down to Phil Swatja. Both these teams are 3-1. So this is a crucial game in the standings. One team will solidify their place as second in the division, and one will become that much more distant third. Swatja now beats 1 defender, 2, and tries to backhand it towards the net. Can't. Good work by Delgado. He moves it towards Hill. Hill wins the 1 race, and he will get a shot here, and it goes wide. Delgado now chases it and battles in the boards with Swatja. And the two teams just in a feeling out process so far in the early going, in my estimation. And now with it is Michael Kelsey, the team's leading scorer. comes all the way down to Swatja, who slowly gathers it, moving very lackadaisically. Kelsey going to force the issue here, but he gets by him. Maybe that's what he wanted. Now Swatja speeds up, and he could not get by the stick of Delgado. Nice stick there. And Delgado over to Kelsey. Kelsey toe drags one opponent, takes a shot, does not get through. And good work there by the back end from Scott Delhanty of the Drunken Leprechauns. Art Laney now chasing it into the corner. And he has a little trouble with Kurt Delhanty. Eventually comes to the corner. And Talbot now moving it towards Kelsey, who is able to move it forward to Rieger, who centers it, but cannot get it too far. Once again, Talbot taking a whack at it. Finally does manage to clear it. Now Mike Nagy with it. Nagy passing it forward to Delhanty. And right in front there, good save by Alves on Daniel Sisk. Now Evan Hill trying to create some space. 7:20 remaining here in the first period. Allies still haven't really gotten their first great opportunity on Camasso. Credit that to the Drunken Leprechauns. Kind of dominating play a little bit in the early goings here. And shot goes wide there. And big opportunity perhaps here. Looking for space. Leprechauns trying to center it. And coming in was Delhanty. Sisk was trying to set him up. Now it is Sisk again. Sisk. Pass is connected. Big save by Alves. Wow, and what a move by Nagy. Trying to get Alves to open up. Got a little bit, but not enough. And Hill wins that face-off, but is ultimately controlled by the Leprechauns. Rieger now moving it past Nagy, who chases it and ends up getting it past a Swatja. Swatja shot, gloved by Alves. Swatja now with it still. Swatja, another shot, blocked with the head, the goalie mask of Alves. There's a heads-up play. Now Delhanty over to Swatja. Delhanty back to the corner. And now a battle in the boards here. Eventually comes to Benning. Benning now takes his time, gets it up towards the front, and Hill tried to make something of that bouncing ball. Could not quite get it settled for himself. Benning now watches the perimeter. Coming in is Daniel Sisk with that shot. Easy stop for Alves, who can see it all the way in. Once again, Alves has had a strong start to the season. Save percentage of 83.333. And he's played in every game, all four for the Allies this season. The Allies are, of course, 3-1 with an accumulative 3.75, because he has been the player. Face-off controlled by the Allies. Out comes Delgado. Delgado dekes once, and his shot does not go through. Good work by Swatja. Swatja now trying to split the defense. Gets through Benning. And could not get him around on the backhand, but now he's in a battle with Laney. Laney ends up flicking it towards the opposite end for Benning. Benning now delays, gets it to Delgado. Delgado trying to move it up to Kelsey. Kelsey having some trouble. Eventually, Swatja takes it. And the Leprechauns regain control in their own zone. Delhanty tries to break some defense, but can't get by Delgado. Delgado gets a shot on goal. Camasso knocks it aside. And now Benning getting tied up with Kelsey there. A little miscommunication among the Allies. Kelsey does regroup and takes the zone. His slap shot does not go through. And now Kelsey once again trying to get it towards Delgado. Swatja takes it away from him. And here comes Phil Swatja. Leads the rush for the Leprechauns. And he could not split the defense there. He had Chad Huck with him, but Huck was just not in the right position. Huck now waits. His shot goes wide. And backhanded opportunity for Delhanty. Unsuccessful. So once again, Swatja will chase. 4:20 remaining here in the first period. Score is still 0-0. The Drunken Leprechauns would love to get this victory tonight. After losing the championship to the Allies in an exciting 3-game series in March, they would love to get revenge. Shot there, saved by Alves, loose in front. Waiting was Chad Huck, but Alves swallows it whole. Face-off coming here, 4:01 remaining here in the first period. Face-off is controlled by the Allies' Evan Hill. Evan Hill trying to create some space, get on the scoreboard. He wraps around the goal. He's being pressured by Delhanty. And Delhanty doing some fine work, ends up getting it away from Hill, but Laney sends it right back into the zone where Rieger will chase in the corner. Nagy gets it away from her, but Hill's there to help. Hill and Delhanty going at it. Hill ends up getting it to Talbot, who sends it in deep. And interesting deflection there. I guess technically that's high sticking. More of an offsides moment than a penalty for those of you curious about the nature of a high stick. Face-off draw controlled by the Leprechauns. Out comes Swatja. His slap shot goes wide, just over the reaching glove of Alves. And now Sisk in the corner with Laney. Laney wins that battle and sends it towards Hill. Now it is Evan Hill behind the Allies' net. Just under 3 minutes remaining here in the first period. Not too many opportunities for the Leprechauns or the Allies, really. Although the Leprechauns have certainly had the lion's share. And Alves has had to make a few good saves this period. On the other hand, Camasso has been mostly able to relax, which we all know she's good at. And that face-off is controlled by, ultimately, Kelsey. He takes it up, and he leaves it for Delgado. Nice play there. Delgado's shot does not go through. Good work by Swatja. Now Swatja takes it behind Camasso. Going to restart the rush for Team DL. And Swatja waits. Lets his teammates get into position. And Kelsey now in a foot race with Swatja, which Swatja initially wins, but opportunity there for Delgado up front. Could not settle it down. Back the other way, 3-on-2 developing for DL. And Benning breaks it up, comes back to Swatja. Delgado on Swatja. Swatja's pass goes through. And DL trying to set it up again. Rebound, deflection there. And Sis could not get the angle he wanted. Delgado able to clear the zone once again. Swatja. Deeks once, fakes once, gets around Delgado, leaves it behind, and waits. Benning gets in the way of that. And through traffic, Alves able to swallow that one up. That was a good take there by Nagy. And big face-off draw here, controlled by the Allies. Benning now with it behind the Allies' net. And he passes it towards Rieger. Eventually comes to Swatja. And Swatja offsides, though, delayed there, high sticking. Now it is cleared. Hill now with it. 1 minute 14 remaining. And turnover broken up by Talbot. And just honestly, some sloppy play out of the Allies tonight. Shot there, rings off the post. Lucky break for the Allies with just under a minute to go here in the first. That would have been a momentum killer. Well, momentum starter, if you will. Because there hasn't really been much momentum in terms of on-ice, on-floor empirical data, as in goals. Touchdown pass, Daniel Sisk waits, and coming up to break it up was Talbot. There are other forms of momentum, of course, other than goals, and I'd say that the momentum is firmly in the favor of the Drunken Leprechauns thus far. And Drunken Leprechauns take the zone, 2-on-1. Good work there by Talbot. Breaking up that play with an impressive kick save. And Swatja shoots. Big rebound, swallowed up by Alves. Sis could not get a stick on it. 10 seconds remaining here in the first. And Alves has been the difference maker so far. And 10 seconds remaining here in the first period of what has been an exciting but even-tempoed game. Slightly dominated by the Drunken Leprechauns, but they have not been able to get on the board. And Delgado eats away a little time there. Comes to Talbot, who has been phenomenal. And that will do it for the first period. The Allies definitely need to have some conversations about how they're going to get more shots on Camasso. And Alves is just going to have to keep doing what he's doing. He's been very strong today, but Leprechauns are getting closer, if you will. Last shot they got was a post. So we will be back in just a few minutes. Welcome back for the second period. This is Shawn Perry with Victor De Leon. Worthy of mention, the Drunken Leprechauns are without a few of the key components that led them to the championship series in the Winter D1R program. That includes Marshall and Lipinski. But they've added a few people with, of course, the enigmatic Phil Swatja, who has been strong already this period, and last period. And then young Justin Coet, who I am not sure is in action tonight. But getting some youth to the team. A good approach, which the Allies have been doing too as well. And it's A.J. Benning and Kyle Morose. Big stop there by Alves in the early going here. And that has been the story. Drunken Leprechauns have gotten some good chances. And they seem to be getting more as the game goes on, but Alves has been extremely strong. Face-off controlled by the Allies. Kelsey moving it towards Laney. Laney delays and smacks it hard. Ends up knacking Nagy in the face. 2-on-1. Delgado's shot. Loose in front. Big rebound given up there by Camasso. And right there was Kelsey. I don't think he expected the rebound opportunity. And Delgado now eats up a few seconds. He has Kelsey behind him. And he eventually is taken off the puck by Nagy. Kelsey, however, making it difficult for him to clear the zone. Eventually wins the puck and sends it towards the goal from his knees. Great effort there by Michael Kelsey. And now recollecting it is Michael Kelsey in his own zone. Passes it towards Laney. Laney now delays. Slings it all the way downtown to Rieger. And Rieger taps it behind the net. Now it is Nagy with it. Nagy taking it up. Over to Carranzo. Bouncing puck is swatted at there by Huck. Nagy once again. Over to Huck. Huck winds up. And his shot goes wide. Oh, excuse me, by Carranzo was the slap shot. And now Mike Nagy with it once again. And his shot deflects into center. And Rieger getting bowled over there by Huck. The Allies starting from behind their own zone. Evan Hill making some moves, beating one defender, two. And he had Delgado streaking towards the front of the net, but just couldn't make the pass. And shot there goes wide by Huck. Delayed call here. And Carranzo's shot, rebound loose. And it looks like we have a call here. A penalty against the Allies. Brian Talbot headed to the box. And boy, he does not look happy about it. And this is a bad time for the Allies to be going on the penalty kill. The Drunken Leprechauns will now have a minute 30 on the power play. And big face-off win for the Allies. Delgado now with it. Delgado and Evan Hill had just had a few opportunities there for a nice change for the Allies. So this is a bad time for them to be going on the kill, as I said. Shot there held by Alves. Great release by Swatja. She has a very strong shot. Looks very effortless. Face-off taken now by Mark Radke, captain of the Leprechauns. And we have another penalty being called here. A little extracurricular communication going on now. And Radke does not understand this call. Just as soon as his team was getting going on their power play, it's over. Now we are in a 3-on-3 situation. Both teams have a man in the box, so this should be interesting to watch. And set up there from Kelsey to Hill, could not connect. Hill now skating out, taken away by Sisk. Daniel Sisk now crossing over, coughed up to Kelsey. Kelsey's shot goes wide, and he is frustrated with that one. Not so lucky 7 today. 9 seconds remain on the penalty for the Allies, for Talbot. And then they will have a brief power play. Evan Hill now restarts the rush. However, Sisk is able to get in the way and takes a shot and scores. And a beautiful steal leads to an even prettier goal. A great release, ripping that one up to the top right corner. And that is Daniel Sisk getting his 3rd goal of the season for his 5th point. And that all started with Evan Hill just not able to protect the puck. And that is a frustrating moment for the Allies, who are just a few seconds away from a power play and killing off their call to Talbot. Momentum swing. And pass from Swatja to Delhanty. Now Benning with it behind his own net. Michael Kelsey with it. Is able to take the zone. And good work there by Sisk to take it away. Gets it over to Swatja. But Kelsey takes it right back. He delays behind the net. He has Delgado. He sends it instead deep over to Benning. And Benning's shot does not go through. And the Drunken Leprechauns are able to clear the zone. The Allies are officially on a power play, 4-on-3 for the next 10 seconds. Can they make it down and get something out of it? And big windup from Kelsey. She gets it with the glove, but it bounces over the net. And Swatja taking it up as the Drunken Leprechauns have successfully killed that power play for the Allies. Rebound loose. And Huck was almost able to get a piece of that bouncing puck in a dangerous zone. And now Swatja with it, deep in his own zone. Smacks it towards the net. Flying stick. This is anarchy on the floor here at the Paiza, ladies and gentlemen. Delgado trying to get it away. And it looks like we have another penalty coming up here, as Talbot will head back to the box. This is Talbot's 2nd penalty of the game. And with the Allies already trailing by a goal, this is a great chance for the Drunken Leprechauns to take a firm grasp on this game. Evan Hill now battling for it in the boards. Able to take the zone. Hard work paying off. Hill waits. He delays. He shoots. And a big save by Camasso. And he's out there to perhaps undo what he did, giving up that shot to Sisk that led to the goal. And Kelsey also doing some fine work here on the back check. However, the Drunken Leprechauns take the zone, bouncing ball. And Laney drives hard into the net, but Alves had already grabbed it. Chad Huck taking the draw here with 53 seconds remaining on the penalty to Talbot. Allies able to clear the zone. Now with it is Delhanty. Shot there, saved by Alves. Huck got a piece of that, but it still goes out. And Nagy has to restart the rush. And setting up there, loose in front, deflects up high into the air. And just under 5.5 minutes remaining here in the second period. Nagy's shot does not go through. And Huck's attempt to keep things moving forward fails. And so the Drunken Leprechauns chase it all the way down here. And now it is Mike Nagy skating up. And his pass meant for Delhanty. Unsuccessful. Camasso has to hold on to that one as Kelsey is on it like glue. And big face-off draw here. Drunken Leprechauns have it now. And out comes Delhanty. Laney's shot ripped towards the goal. Now Delhanty gets it over to Sisk eventually. Sisk now delays and cannot get the shot he wanted. Good work by the defense of the Allies. Another opportunity for Sisk. Wins a battle in front. Loose in front. Rebound opportunity. And they score. Alves just could not get back into position in time. And face-off controlled here by the Allies. Phil Swatja now with it. Takes it behind his own net. And good pressure there by Hill. And Rieger now with it in the corner. Gets it towards Camasso. And now Swatja with it again. Delhanty now with it. Sends it up to Swatja. Swatja gets a shot towards the goal. And Alves is able to get a glove on it. 3:37 remaining here in the second period. Crucial face-off here. Evan Hill battling for it in the boards. Now it is Benning with it. Benning probably wishes his son was here. Allies could use a little offensive firepower right about now. Swatja now with it. He has been a dominating force on the back end for the Drunken Leprechauns. Sends a shot towards the goal, loose in front. And what a save by Alves. My God, it took me a second to react there, but that was an incredible looking glove. And face-off draw here in the offensive territory for the Drunken Leprechauns. Mark Radke cannot win that draw. Kelsey once again being very strong on face-offs tonight. Delgado coughs it up to Sisk. Sisk now delays, looking for help. And the Allies are able to clear the zone. We will be taking a short break in a few moments, as we are experiencing some technical difficulties. So I apologize if we leave mid-sentence here. And crucial moment for the game, though. Drunken Leprechauns looking for that third goal, which would be a real dagger at this point in the game. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the second period. Benning trying to get it out of the zone. Cannot. Bouncing ball. Radke now chasing after Delgado, who is able to take it across center. And his shot hits the post. Loose in front. Still loose, and able to clear the zone, but not quite. Sent back there, and kick save by Swatja. And there's some life. Delgado having a game among games tonight. And back the other way. Allies look like they're going to have a delayed penalty. So, until the end. All right, we're back. And the Allies are in dire straits right now. The final minutes of the game. 1:47 remaining. Evan Hill now on a breakaway. He shoots and is stopped by Camasso. And that's just been the story tonight. Camasso been strong, but in reality, the Drunken Leprechauns have just given very little away to the Allies. They haven't had too many opportunities throughout the night. They've had to work hard for every one of them. whereas the Allies have kind of relented. They've given a couple bad plays away, and the Drunken Leprechauns have taken advantage. They're leading 4-1 with just over a minute to go. And this does not look like it's going to be a comeback special from the Allies. But some great work by Daniel Sisk. Incredible play by the young Phil Swatja. Mike Nagy, great goaltending by Brittany Camasso. Just a great all-around effort by the Drunken Leprechauns to make this one happen. A really complete game by them, whereas the Allies have been off their game all night. And the frustration has boiled over. Captain Delgado called a timeout to settle the troops down, but right after that, they had another penalty. It's just been one of those nights. Saved there by Alves. Alves was extremely strong in the first period, keeping it netted at 0, and has been strong all night. But when you shoot enough shots at a goaltender, no matter how good they are, eventually something's going to trickle in. And there's been a lot of penalties tonight, some undisciplined play from both sides, but again, the story is the Allies just not up to par tonight. And some great some great offensive and defensive work from Michael Kelsey tonight, as well as Brian Talbot and Joey Delgado in particular. Evan Hill breaking out again. Another big save by Camasso. She has his number. And in front, Evan Hill stopped again. He delays, stopped again. And Evan Hill just cannot get by Camasso. 3 seconds remaining, and I think that will just about do it. The Allies have one more chance to make a statement here. They are on the penalty kill. That would have been a shorthanded goal. Face off one controlled, and Evan Hill decides just to let that one sit. And this is going to be a tough one to swallow for the Allies. Just a thorough thrashing by the Drunken Leprechauns, who now take over total control of second place in the D1 Roller League here in Plainville. They improved to 4-1 on the season and are tied with Braided Taint for first in the division, whereas the Allies fall to 3-2 and now fall beneath the Shamrocks for fourth place. So a big loss for the Allies. Granted, they were without some of their best players. There was no A.J. Benning. There was no Kyle Morose. And this was not necessarily the biggest night ever for Evan Hill. But excuses be gone. This was just a wake-up call for the Allies, who have been on a roll as of late, but just got showed up by the better squad. Now the end of the ice. This is a big win for the Drunken Leprechauns, moving into tie for first place. Great plays by Daniel Sisk. Hard work was rewarded. They had to really get at Julio Alves to get through him, but eventually they found a way, and I'd say Chad Hook and Daniel Sisk and Phil Swatja were the big stars. But we're just moments away from the post-game report. We'll go right to that. Hello and welcome to the post-game report. This is Shawn Perry, as always, with Victor De Leon. The Allies dropped a tough one to their rivals, the Drunken Leprechauns, tonight. Great work by Phil Swatja, a new acquisition to the team since last season, as well as by old favorites Chad Huck and Brittany Camasso in goal. Led to the Drunken Leprechauns able to put 4 on the board. Julio Alves was extremely strong throughout the night, particularly in the first half of the game, but if you put enough shots on any goaltender, eventually someone's going to get through, and that's what happened as the Drunken Leprechauns were able to get 4 goals behind Julio Alves, which will drop his goals against average, and this loss drops the Allies down to 4th place beneath the Shamrocks in the D1R standings, whereas the Drunken Leprechauns are now moved into a tie for first place. A.J. Benning and Kyle Moreau's scoring touch was noticeably absent, and while Michael Kelsey was strong both on offense and defense, it was clear that he could have used a few other hands to pass it to. This was also a very frustrating night for Evan Hill, who just could not find the back of the net, even though he had a lot of chances. Brittany Camasso just had his number. So once again, the final score here at the Pisa, 4-1. The Allies will look for retribution in the future, whereas they're going to have to get back to work very shortly. Thank you for being with us. This is, as always, Shawn Perry with Victor De Leon, and we will be back next time for Allies action here at the Plainville Indoor Sports Arena. Have a great night. Take care.